lift onto the truck, and it's there in 1 minute 41 for Van den Bosch. And Fekkety's not far behind on 1:49. And Laszlo's turn to emulate the Viking roars.
Nagyon nehéz versenyszám ez. Sajnos a derekam nem a legjobb, de úgy érzem, aránylag sikerült. Talán még feljebb is tudok valamivel jutni. Bizakodom itt a versenyszámokban, hogy az első ötbe talán bent leszek. Thank you.
Frustration though for Chaling. Jamie, what's the problem?
Last year the Achilles tendon actually ruptured and came away from the heel. He's had a major operation to attach the Achilles, and I think they're just trying to determine whether the tendons actually come off again or just strained. He must have felt it, and he carried on all three. So really Charlie's took the gamble whether he can go on in the competition or whether he has to cease his challenge right now.
We join Henning Thorsen from Denmark, nearest us, against the Estonian professional wrestler Apu Spensky, each on their second basket. Henning's height of 6'3" will be an advantage in lifting these baskets over the smaller man.
Yes, Henning there, no problem putting that basket on. Ap's having to lift the basket at the bottom to try and get that extra height when he gets to the car.
More of a struggle for the smaller man. A good effort.
Henning very fast with the shovel there. His technique on the shovel's fantastic.
But there, by contrast, Ap's basket's all over the place.
Yes, he's putting it more stable now so it doesn't tip over. But Henning's already on his third basket. Henning's coming to finish. This looks a very fast time.
1:28 on the clock.
That's the winner. Has he got it on? Yeah, that looks like the winning time.
A time for the Great Dane, 1 minute 34, the fastest yet. But Uspensky is still battling on bravely. Very gutsy show from the smaller man, and he's enjoying himself. Well, he's almost there now. The time, 1 minute 51. And Thorsen beginning to impress now.
I don't think it was that hard. I might even could have done a little bit faster if I know it would be that easy.
Any clue as to why you're so quick with the shovel?
Oh, my work is as construction worker, and I usually do a lot of work with a shovel.
Meanwhile, if the crowd is concerned about Channing's injury, the Dutchman's not.
The doctor's had a look at it. What's he said to you?
Hold on. So, I need an interpreter.
But heat 3 now, and O.D. Wilson against Adrian Smith, first and second overall, and Adrian's trying new tactics.
Yes, Adrian looks like he's filling all three baskets. O.D.'s onto his second basket. Now it looks like a big tactical error for Adrian. O.D.'s coming back now for his last basket, and Adrian hasn't loaded one yet.
Well, I wonder if panic will set in, because he's way behind the giant.
Yes, and that basket looks light. It only looks half full. He's just throwing it on.
Well, the problem there is that he has to reach 270 kilos. He could be underweight.
Yes, it's leaving a lot to do on this last basket, but it doesn't look like he's got any stones left to load.
Final effort to lift this one up. Oh, he's lost some kilos there.
He's losing a lot of stones, and he really needs a big third basket.
I look rather discouraged by that, because O.D. is on his third basket and almost ready to go.
Looks like Adrian's lost it. His momentum's gone. He seems to be panicking now.
The stones are scattered all over the place. It's impossible to find them.
Yes, he's only putting half shovelfuls in.
I wonder if his trainer's letting him down. Surely he should be advising him.
His trainer should have told him. O.D.'s off on his third, but Adrian's trainer's let him go with half a basket on his third one. He's got to be underweight now, surely.
And Adrian's slow as well at 2 minutes 10. O.D. by contrast was light on his feet for a big man, but Adrian's failed to make the weight. It's a tactical disaster for him.
I thought I'd try something different, load them all together, but I didn't imagine that the stones would scatter.
On your mark and get set!
The final heat, and the two men with much to prove. John Paul Sigmason, that he's not out of this title race. Ilkka Nemister, that he's worth the very considerable local support. And already these two are loading very quickly, Jamie.
Yes, they've set off at a blistering pace. I'm just wondering if they can keep this up through the whole heat. They're both taking very big baskets, full to the top. They're both very fast with the shovel.
Sigmason at his best, but Nemister's sticking with them all the way.
Yes, this is one of the events where Sigmarsson excels and he's very explosive and very fast. This is just up his street, but Nemisto seems to be sticking with him all the way.
Remember, Henning Thorsen, the Dane, has the leading time of 1 minute 30.
Sigmarsson nearly slipped then. The baskets are really, really heavy, which he's taking. He's struggling now to get this basket on. And Nemisto's took the lead. But Nemisto's going like a rocket.
There's a head-to-head between these two. 1:34 the time to beat.
Sigmarsson's going, he feels he's got enough weight.
Look at the clock, he's inside him.
Yes, this is the fastest heat by far, that's the winner, surely.
1:24, a remarkable time, and Nemisto behind him, 1:26, tremendous. Sigmarsson's first win of the competition. Great spirit between the men who share Viking inspiration.
Iceland! Finland!
And the Icelanders back in business.
You, and you, and you, and you, and you. You thought I would finish. I'm Icelandic. I'm not finished. I would not be here if I thought I was going to lose. I always think I'm going to win. It is better to have a bad start and a good end than a good start and bad end.
So, halfway through the contest for the Daft Trophy, John Paul leaps into second place behind OD. Ilke and Challing are lying handy, but Adrian's tactical gamble drops him 3 costly places. Close by, another monument to Outokumpu's industrial past, soon to be transformed as part of a multi-million-pound golf and leisure complex, golf being Finland's fastest-growing sport. It promises to be an example of Karelian industrial reclamation at its very best. If it's as successful as the mining museum, it'll prove another striking example of Finnish industrial preservation. Well, we've moved inside the Outokumpu mine now, internationally renowned for its export of copper around the world. It's also well known in this part of Finland for its trawl legend, hence this fellow here. Well, another great legend of this competition, John Paul Sigmarsson, is beginning to stamp his mark on the championship. John Paul attempting 110 kilos, 16 stones on his first lift.
Yes, a very easy lift for John Paul. It looked well within his capabilities.
Well, let's see if Smith can match that.
Prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Adrian's first attempt at the same weight.
Yes, he's got to get this up to his shoulders and then all to his hands from the pull into the push position. But he looks a little off balance at the moment.
Final thrust required from Smith. And he's there. Well, John Paul looking on impassively as Henning Thorsen, having cleared 110 kilos, is leaping forward to 120. But a far more awkward stone, Jamie.
Yes, this is a very big stone. It looks very, very awkward. Henning being the second tallest competitor behind O.D. Wilson. He's got quite a way to push this rock.
Come on. 10 seconds to go.
You can do it!
When it's time.
Well, not so convincing, but they've given it to him.
O.D. Wilson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Wilson's elected to go to 120 kilos on his third lift. Well, this kind of event should suit him, really.
Yes, I don't think this will prove too much trouble for O.D.'s massive upper body strength.
Good lift, down.
Yeah, very easy lift.
And as the competition goes on, he's looking increasingly stronger, Jamie.
Yes, he's getting stronger by each event.
Laszlo Fekete, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Very much home territory for Laszlo Fekete, the Hungarian millstone throwing champion. Of all the techniques on display, Jamie, his should be the best.
Yes, I think he'll use the same technique as the millstones, up onto his head and then a simple lock of the arms. Yes.
Success on a third lift at 120 kilos. No wonder he's delighted he made it look so easy. Now the turn of John Paul at the same weight. Sigmarsson trying to pump up the adrenaline before this tricky stone.
Yes, he looks really psyched up for this lift.
John Paul Sigmarsson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Well, he won the last event, Jamie. He's got to keep the momentum going.
Yes, he's at home lifting stones. He's got a very smooth technique.
18 stones balancing in his chest.
And an easy press.
He's done it.
Oh, he's really smoking now.
It takes two ordinary mortals to haul the next stone, the 125-kilo rock, into position. O.D. Wilson next, his fourth attempt.
O.D. Wilson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
O.D.'s enormous size makes that rock look like a brick, but it's no easy task, Jamie.
No, it's the equivalent of lifting a 20-stone man above his head. It's up to his shoulders. He's just got to try and swap his arms round and get his balance. He looks well positioned here.
Going for the press now.
Oh, he's come down on his head. This must have knocked his concentration off this. It looks like he's hanging in there.
Another attempt.
Oh, no, he's lost it.
Well, all he got was a headache for his efforts. Food for thought after seeing that, but now it's the turn of Fekete, same weight.
Laszlo Fekete, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift. Come on.
Now these arms and shoulders will really hurt at this weight.
Yes, and don't forget if Fekete gets this lift, he goes into the lead. It's the same technique he's using. We'll see it go up onto the head. And once again now, just a simple lock of the arms.
Well, he's confident.
Oh, no, not this time. The weight's starting to take its toll on Fekete. He's really struggling with this one. Yes, he's been given it.
Fekete makes 125 kilos. Henning Thorsen and John Paul Sigmason both attempted 130 kilos but failed. And we pick it up at the same weight with Adrian Smith, only his second lift. Is this another gamble?
Adrian Smith, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Well, Jamie, if he gets this, it's a world record.
Yes, but he's only had one warm-up lift before this. If he gets this, he gets the full 8 points too.
Very ambitious, but he was quick to get it onto the shoulders.
Yes, it looks very awkward though. It looks as if he's in his face and he can't get his balance.
Oh!
Yes, it's right in his face, that rock. He's got to press it this time. No, he just can't get his balance.
That's disastrous. It'll cost him dearly. So the man with the eyes of steel, Laszlo Fekete, takes 8 points with O.D. Wilson, John Paul Sigmason and Henning Thorsen all sharing second. Again, inexperience taking its toll for Adrian.
Knowing that you had a total of 6 pulls and all 6 attempts here, shouldn't you perhaps have tried to ease your way up, or would that have drained the power?
Well, I thought I'd save the power. I did 110, and then I looked at the 130, and it was a nice shape. And I was positive I would do it. And I thought I'd go for broke. And, you know, I got it up there, but I had to fight to get a decent handhold. And on the day, I didn't press it. But, I mean, I've pressed a lot more weight than that on a bar, and I just thought that I would be able to do it.
So another chance gone for Smith as Thorsen moves into third place after 5 events. At the top, still only 1.5 points between O.D. and John Paul.
How do you rate John Paul in terms of sheer strength, as a strength competitor?
Too much.
He's very strong. He's looking strong for his 4th title this time. I said before the competition that I thought he'd win a 4th title, and even when he missed a few events, people were saying, no, he's not going to do it. I still knew he'd come through.
At the end of day 2, we return to Joensuu to move inside the region's largest hotel. A big crowd has gathered to watch an event featuring specially made replicas of an